come on stage and deliver their presentation.
Always thankful to the ICCCON committee and being a part of ICC for a long time, since '99 when we started. I think I was one of the founder members with Dr. Rajiv Lochal at that time. So it has been a great pleasure, and I'm thankful to them. May I have the slides, please? Thankful to the organizing committee, Dr. Ofre, Dr. Das, for giving me here. The topic is very touchy to my heart because I worked with Alain Cribier in '96, '97, '98. TAVI, Benchside to Bedside. He was the father of TAVI, and he's unfortunately no more. We lost him in February 2024, and I have some beautiful memoirs with him. So before I start talking, I'll show you some pictures and a few videos which I recorded with him. Because I lived with him, and I learned everything from Dr. Alain Cribier, 1996 to '98. At that time, this was evolving, and it was in his mind, and it was still the first case was not done. So my wonderful stay in Roa in '96, '98, you can see this picture of the cath lab where Dr. Cribier and myself scrubbed up in one of the important Charles de Gaulle hospital. Then with my family here in one of the restaurant Roa, few pictures. He came to my house in Delhi, Sarita Vihar, and that was not too long, it was 2017. My son Chinmay, now he's attending his doctor on the cycle with him. This was the first TAVI case we did in November 2011 from India. At that time in India it was not available. And so first in man, we had a celebration on 21st May 2022 in Roa, in one of the chapel of 20th anniversary of TAVI. I'll also share a few seconds of, this was the last video I recorded with him. And you could, this was when he had checked out at the Taj, when he came to CSI last year, 2023. After checking out, he was nice enough to come to my room, and then I recorded this small video. So it's always that one of the last videos of Dr. Cribier face to face in my office, and we lost him because of sudden death. This was the video where I used to work with him in Charles de Gaulle in '97, and scrubbing with him. And then this is the video when he came to my house in Sarita Vihar and talking about, can I have this small sound in this? So he's talking he was one of those funny guys, not funny I would say, but he had a great sense of humor. He can produce humor at any time when he was talking to me, and then you just watch him what he's doing. Because it's interesting, because he was not only nice in his work, but he was very nice to his fellows and to his people. I'll just show him that what he does, he will take my tie and start doing something which is very unusual.
It's a place to come, so this is not fair.
Not fair. You say something?
Well, actually, it's a little cold here. I'm sorry, I didn't.
These were the small things which he used to do with people like me. I mean, he's driving a car in Roa with him recently. Then one of the important during the chapel meeting. And this I want to show you because this was his house in '97. He used to play piano a lot. And this is my son Chinmay. He's giving his bicycle 31st May 1997 at his house in Roa in France. So these are very good memories, and I really feel so sad that he is no more with us. It's very unfortunate. His two sons, and he had sudden death after waiting for his head. He had a good lunch the same day, and he had no symptoms. And he was just watching TV, and then his wife came from Paris, and he found him dead in the bathroom. It was, I think, a very big death. And if he had AICD, perhaps he would have survived, but there was no major indication except that he had a stents and maintained. So coming on to the topic, these are a few more videos, but I'm not going to tell you. So coming on to the presentation, which is TAVI, Benchside to Bedside. These are the few slides which I have taken from him only, and that was the day when he gave me the slides last meeting with him. So developing TAVI, a long road littered with pitfalls. Lessons learned from the experience of future innovation. Having an idea is not enough. Translating into the reality requires a combination of elements proving that your idea is good, mental strength capable of overcoming criticism, finding the right partners and finances to advance. This is for the innovation, he used to say. Rigorous scientific research, respecting the process of optimal translation research, and failure of one of these elements can lead to failure of the entire project. Never give up, perseverance is the key word. These are the slides which from Dr. Alain Cribier. Never give up, perseverance is the key word, because he had a long story. 1985, when he did the first balloon aortic valvoplasty, and which was published in Lancet in 1986, he became already hero at that time, because BAV, balloon aortic valvoplasty, was not very much popular, rather it was not done by anybody. Of course, mitral was being done. So from 1985 to 2002, he had a long road and attempt to solve a major unmet clinical need. Developed two successive innovations for non-surgical treatment of acquired aortic stenosis, which was BAV and then, of course, TAVI. A single goal of these two linked innovation to provide a life-saving therapeutic option for patients with asymptomatic AS and decline for surgical valve replacement. At that time, those patients who were not fit for surgical valve replacement were the only goal he had. In 2000s, one-third of symptomatic AS non-operated, mortality was 80%, 2 years. 1980, 50% turned down for surgery. Age per se was not a criteria. The starting point of the breakthrough adventure. So after balloon aortic valvoplasty, glory then gave up. A bomb effect in the medical community. What to do the next? Tens of thousands of patients worldwide, thousands referred for BAV. 1992 FDA approval and restricted indication, but it was not a non-lasting. It was a non-lasting result. BAV had a problem that there was a recurrence and there was a stenosis again in the valve, and therefore this was a non-lasting result. But after 40 years, BAV is still alive, because he still want to do, before putting a valve, we need a balloon aortic valvoplasty. So transcatheter aortic heart valve, what to do next, give up or fight? Transcatheter heart valve was developed by him. TAVI, the 15-year-old long walk from idea to first in man. This is an important slide, because the most stupid, this was the mails which he used to get from engineers, from J&J, from Medtronic, from cardiac surgeon, that this is the most stupid project ever heard and just forget it. This was the mail, many mails he used to get from the expert that don't do this is not interesting and it is not possible, it is not possible. So when Su did that, he had a perseverance, the 15-year long walk from the idea to man. FIM, ROA, BAV project, 1987, he the opinion of the experts, he said impossible and insane. 1987. 1994, he did a landmark autopsy study, 16 patients, and this was how the strut was developed. Valve structure, biological or polymer, high radial force, balloon expandable stent, external coverage. This was his idea, and he developed in the animal model. Now from 1994 to 1998, he was looking for a sponsor. All biomed companies contacted, including Medtronic and the Edwards company at that time. Edwards was doing the valve, surgical valve at that time also, and they all refused, complete failure. They took the opinion of cardiac surgeons. The most stupid project ever heard. Just forget it. This was the mention. This was the companies which had told him from 1994 to 98. The creation of PVT, which is another company which he created with the USA with Martin Leon. And then 1999 with Martin Leon, the partnership Aaron and Israeli company, 2 engineers, 2 cardiologists, and of course then they made a tri-leaflet valve polymer. Then horse pericardium, stainless steel stent, single diameter 23 and 24 French crimped size. And this was the preclinical evaluation was done extensively in lab in Israel, and in vivo testing sheep model and done and published by Dr. Alain Cribier and Alain, who was number 2 in the department. Of course, from that time, the RUA film TAVI 2002, moving from dream to reality, the first in man was done. April 16, 2002, the dream comes true. 57-year-old dying patient, cardiac shock, EF of 12%, aortic valve area 0.6, bicuspid aortic valve, multiple comorbidity, acute leg ischemia, floating thrombus in left ventricle, no femoral access, failed transeptal BAV, TAVI as the last option, unplanned transeptal approach was done, and this was second bomb blast within the medical community. It was enthusiasm, incredible fury of cardiac surgeons. Him again, you have done it again. First he did at BAV in 1985 and 2002. And this was the valve positioning. You can see how the patient flared up and the patient lived for few months. The dreams come true. First convincing vision of TAVI results. Echocardiography confirmed it. CT post TAVI also confirmed. Of our 1994 anatomic observation was confirmed by doing the first in-man TAVI result. From 2002, which was the first case, and 2005, for multiple patients were done only for compassionate basis. That means those patients who were actually dying, who were refused Those were the patients critically ill. Only those patients were taken up. Inoperable, NHI class 4, imminent death, transseptal approach. Transfemoral was done in 7 patients, 75% success, 50% survival, 1 to 6 5 years with return to normal life. Key role of patient improvement of early recognition and expansion of TAVI. This was one of the third patient, she's 83-year-old, and she lived for 6.5 years. And patient number 10 from Dr. Cribier, she also lived quite long, unchanged hemodynamic result, and she lived. Better results could be anticipated in less severely sick patients because these are very sick patients, and they presumed that at that time. The first step of TAVI offshore from Rouen, from France, it moved to Vancouver, John Webb, and then Bernard O'Neill from Detroit, Martin Leon from New York. They're all stalwarts from their field. Rotterdam, Patrick Saraz, who was a master in his field in coronary stenting. He did the Benchside trial. He also took the project from Dr. Cribier that he will do in Rotterdam and Holland. And then, of course, who does not know Antonio Colombo from Milano, he also started doing all these things. Some breakthrough results despite the technical difficulty of transseptal approach, because this was not a retrograde, it was anti-retrograde approach where this was the. And so it was a retrograde approach. And 2005, 100 patient mark was crossed. From 2002 to 2005, 100 marks was crossed. Edward, now this is 2004, the same company which had refused to do any funding for this Dr. Cribier project, now he acquires PVT. They acquired and they take PVT, was a company which had done this first in man renovation with the New York with Dr. Martin Leon. TAVI enters a new era, new valve, new delivery system, new approaches. The valve which was initially named as Cribier Edward was changed to Cribier Sapien. Of course, this was 23 millimeter size equine pericardium, and this was treated bovine pericardium. There were some changes. And John Webb, he started doing with Vancouver. He did the first thing, the approach, which was integrated approach, MAC and FON in Germany. So with these two approaches, there was no limitation to feasibility of TAVI. Two approaches mean one is, of course, transfemoral, which is transseptal, and second is integrated approach from transfemoral arterial approach. This was the approach which was 2005 launch of concurrent device for Medtronic core valve. Medtronic later took it, but core valve later acquired a Medtronic, and this was a self-expanding. Dr. Cribier started this Edward, which is a balloon expandable, and the self-expanding approach also start of fair and ongoing competition between these two system concept, self-expanding and of course balloon expandable. No one could have predicted such a success of 10-20 years. The reason for success, continuous and rapid technological improvement, making tower easier, faster, safer, major drop of severe complication, rigorous scientific evaluation following a challenge in very unusual pathway medicine from higher than to this. And this slide tells you how the success has come. The reason for success, continuous rapid technological advancement, major drop in severe complication, patient selection. Since 2012, the predominant role of MSCT in addition to TE and TA, that means multi-slice CT and CT scan. Advanced TAVI system from 2005, Edwards Sapien, then Edwards Sapien XT, the Sapien 3, the Sapien 3 Ultra, the Regula. This is how the Edward has moved in this advancement. Medtronic from 2006, Medtronic core valve, Evolute, Evolute R, Evolute Pro and Pro Plus. These are the further advancement from the Medtronic valves. Then of course Boston Scientific also came up with this, and they started with Systemist and Accurate New, and now you can know that we have Navitor and also Accurate New. And Merrill, our Indian company, also they made a valve which is the indigenous valve, my valve, and now Octacore. So these are the evolution which has happened since then, and the transfemoral approach has become the default strategy in most of the cases. In 2021, 95% of all cases were transfemoral approach, not the transapical, not subclavian artery, because various approaches were tried for carotid, but most promising at that time was transapical, but hardly nobody does, because there were surgeons who were doing, hardly anybody is doing this transfemoral approach. The pioneered by Cribier group, the important minimalist approach, that means most of the time in surgery, especially in America, people were doing with the general anesthesia, but it was a minimalist approach, procedure simplification. That means only the conscious sedation, 2 operators, 1 fellow, 2 nurse, 1 aided nurse, local anesthesia, pure percutaneous approach, no TE, femoral artery per closing system, procedural time not more than 30 to 40 minutes. I was myself witness to the patient with the first case which we did, 40 minutes time from puncture to puncture and patient coming out. And this was the faster approach because this was just a local anesthesia, there was no general anesthesia, and patient discharged within 3 days, just like coronary stenting. And first report, Eric Durand et al., Jack division of this minimalist approach was published in 2012. The reason for success, the second reason, rigorous scientific evaluation. As I told you, the partner 1, partner 2 and partner 3 trials were launched. Partner 1 confirmed that inoperable high-risk patients this is feasible. Partner 2 confirmed intermediate risk patient, and partner 3 confirmed low risk patient can also be is as good as SAVI, which is surgical aortic valve replacement. So this was then, and then of course 2019 FDA approves SAPIEN 3. FDA is a Federal Drug Administration, which is an American body which confirms and allows the utility or utilization of any new devices for general public. 1,000 patients enrolled in multiple national and international control registries, still going in France. It was NEGM published fast TAVI registries, match registry, randomized trial versus surgical valve replacement in patients at decreasing risk with Edward and Metronic calcium. A new paradigm SVR is indicated in patients who are not optimal candidate to TAVI. So now it is the new paradigm. SVR, so surgical valve replacement, I'll take 3-4 minutes extra. It's very interesting. Surgical valve replacement is indicated in patients who are not optimal candidates for TAVI. Other way around, earlier it was TAVI was indicated when surgical aortic valve replacement cannot be done. Here now, new paradigm, surgical valve replacement is indicated in patients who are not optimal candidates for TAVI. It's other way around. So coming on to the hypothesis of TAVI, FDA approved TAVI for low risk patients more than 65 years. European recommendations, more than 30 lakhs patients have been done in 80 countries. This is 2023. I think by this time it is almost only 4 million. How can we predict the future of TAVI? Growing number of patients, aging population, operators worldwide, continuous expansion, decreased TAVI cost is a challenge. Scientific evolution is going on. And now moderate AS plus heart failure, moderate symptomatic AS, asymptomatic severe AS. These are the 3 challenges. The early TAVI trial, SAPIEN 3 trial for the asymptomatic AS is also, it's always a debate. I attended the India Valve conference last week, and that also had many such things. So long durability of TAVI processes, no alarm, severe speedy re-intervention only in 0 to 1.3%. Partner 3 at 5 years has also shown a very good result. That means this TAVI can be done even at 5 years if they are doing a good job. It's biparasitic valve, it has a longevity, not lifelong, it is about 10 years. Some remaining issues, of course, are there. Long-term durability, valve failure. You can do TAV and TAV, that means TAVI and TAVI. You can also do. We had some cases during the last week, India Valve, which held in Chennai. Some remaining issues: prevention of minor complication, prevention of selective coronary access, because coronary arteries are very near that place. Higher prevalence of bicuspid valves. I being prepared to decrease number of SVD requiring optimal MSCT, which is CT angiography. So TAVI, a long journey from 1985. Of course, this was balloon aortic valvoplasty. I want to remind RUA autopsy studies, 99 started with the PVT company, animal experimentation, first in man 2002, 2002 to 3 RUA feasibility studies, and then of course CE mark. CE mark is a European marking like FDA. Then CE mark, then of course partner 1, partner 2, partner 3, and of course FDA approval. 37 years since Bobby, 22 years in the film, the TAVI, besides pathing, but many international for treating this. And I will just tell you that there was a patient, the first case which was done by myself along with Dr. Cribier, I would say Dr. Cribier, and I was scrubbed with him, 28 November 2011. This patient was the first from India, but at that time TAVI was not available in India, therefore we had to fly this patient from India to France for this patient to be done. A severe 83-year-old patient, asymptomatic, 0.7 area, severe AS. We did all the Apollo Hospital, we did everything, all further minor pre-procedure evaluation daily, and then we took him the patient's angio clip. I would like to show you the last clip, which was, this was Edward XT valve. Sorry, it's not working, but okay. This is how it's going at T-rate approach, and the patient did well, and patient was discharged, and conscious sedation, 40 minutes of the procedure. Patient died after about 9 years of this, and TAVI can confirm that relatively high risk patient with minimalist environment, without general anesthesia, with conscious sedation, 45 minutes of procedure. So this was the photograph which we had, the first and second 10 year and 10 years TAVI celebration. And this was a great moment for Dr. Cribier. Unfortunately, as I told you, he is not with us, but his blessings are there. He was very close to me personally. I would say that he used to treat me like a son, and I have really, I can't believe that he's no more with us. I used to go to Europe, PCR, Paris, Europe, and the reason why I used to tell my family that I'm traveling again and again is because I thought I should meet Dr. Cribier. Just on the humor side, I would like to finish my slide, but not on a warm note, on a very moving note. Recently, I attended Ambani's wedding, and I want to show you this video. Can we have the slide? There was one video which Ranbir Kapoor became so viral, and many of you must have seen.
Ranbir Kapoor during the Anant Radhika wedding on July 12th.
So
Dr. Vivek Gupta, renowned cardiologist from Delhi's Apollo Hospital, was spotted handing his business card to actor Ranbir Kapoor.
This was something I wanted to finish off, not on the warm note, but also on the humorous note. During the Amani's wedding, when I met Ranveer and then handed over, somebody took the video and it went viral. And later on, people realized that it was Dr. Vivek Gupta, and then we had so many videos. So I'm very happy to give a talk because I was trained by him from the beginning, and I knew the idea when he was driving a car in Rua, and when he picked me from the railway station. When I reached there, he said, I have an idea. I will be doing a surgical valve replacement non-surgically without opening the chest. I thought it's crazy. It was not possible for me to believe, and now everybody is doing it. Something what Andreas Grundsik did in 1977, the angioplasty, and then of course now everybody is doing it. But not many people, young cardiologists, may not be knowing that it was actually Dr. Alain Cribier, a great effort from 1985 to 2002. And it was not easy road. It was difficult time. Innovations are not easy. When you start an idea, you have to have perseverance, you have to have company support, you have to have your thought, conviction, despite so much of criticism. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek. I don't think we will have any questions on this topic. Can we go on to the next slide? Next talk, please. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very much.
It is not there, then